No one wants to see kids get killed. Unless you worship Molech.
Yeah, everyone, you can sing along too.
Talking about Molech for years. And now they're going to call him Baal. Which I get. You know, it's like the father god of Molech. But still, it's Molech. It's Molech. And he requires child sacrifice. Now, if you want to see that we actually talked about all this stuff, go to Aleister Crowley episode like 20. And hear the disbelief in my former co-hosts as I tell them about child sacrifice, Epstein Island. And you know what? I wanted to feel good. You know, this is, first of all, I've known about this since 2011, 2012, which is still 10 years later than when Alex Jones found all this stuff out. And I was raised, as you know, a very devout Jehovah's Witness. And when I was a kid, at 5, my favorite Bible story was of an 8-year-old named King Josiah. And King Josiah wanted to do good in the Bible. And so he read that sacrificing kids to Molech was bad and proceeded to go and destroy all the Molech statues. Now, as a Jehovah's Witness, you have to understand who Molech is. You know, that's the Jehovah's Witness way. You can't just read it off. No, you got to get into every nitty-gritty detail. So, me at 5, 2 years removed from me being sacrificed to Molech, I learned about, you know, they played loud music so that you can hear the screams of the mothers. And everyone else partied as they passed the child into a cast iron bull that was a furnace. And for decades, archaeologists said, no. There is no such thing as child sacrifice or Molech or, you know, none of that was going on. And then, lo and behold, in the late 90s, in Carthage, they find like 200,000 urns of babies sacrificed to Molech. This is not new. It's not new. These are evil humans. And they're part of the 1%. Does anyone notice this? The evilest of humans are also part of the 1%. Can't they just be happy being part of the 1%? Why do they got to eat babies? Unless, of course, you're Miss Pam Bondi and want to look absolutely stunning for your testimony of why it's okay to eat babies and not throw anyone in jail. I mean, that makes sense. Sweet little Pam Bondi. Let's go back to Pam. Let's see how she's doing. Let's see how she's handling these questions. Now, notice this is Fox. So, of course, we're not going to see your little cheat sheet.
They don't like the answer, Chairman, because it's honest. So he asked a 4-minute question.
Restore 45 seconds, Mr. Nadler, please, Mr. Chairman.
Answer.
You can let her filibuster all day long, but not on our watch. Not on our time. No way. And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me.
Yeah, I did tell you because we saw what you did in the Senate.
You're a lawyer. You're not even a lawyer.
Committee will be
You're
in order.
not even a lawyer.
At least 45 seconds.
We will give you a few more seconds. I said that already.
45 seconds.
Okay, I'm timing right now, Mr. Nadler.
All right.
My time. The answer to my question, how many of Epstein's co-conspirators has she indicted, is 0. You have been the Attorney General for a whole year, and your DOJ fired the lead prosecutor of this case, sat on evidence this entire time, and claimed falsely last July that there were no more leads. It took an act of Congress for you to finally release part of the Epstein files. And when you did, you included personal information about the victims while protecting the names of abusers.
Time of the gentleman has expired.
Brought to justice. but enormous resources
Time of the
dedicated to
gentleman has
pursuing Trump's
expired, and
It's
obviously
clear that under your leadership, the Department of Justice
there
no
was
longer
no
works for
question
American
in
people.
there.
It works
to
for
respond
Donald
to.
Trump. I yield back.
The gentleman yields back.
May I answer?
I think our next questioner, Madam Attorney General, is going to give you time to respond to
Thank you, Chairman.
all kinds of things. So we will turn to the gentleman from Texas for 5 minutes.
Ms. Bondi, you go right ahead. I'm over here. The time is yours.
Thank you. First, he brought up the president saying they indicted me twice. They sure did. They tried to impeach him twice. And you, Mr. Nadler, were one of the leads on the impeachment. I was on the other side. I lived that with you.
Oh my God, we don't care. We do not care about who impeached who and who hurt whose feelings for the last 6 years. There has been child predators operating at a high level for 60 years. And this is the first time we can have actual evidence to get rid of them. And you're sitting here talking about impeachments from 6 years ago?
During impeachment, you said the president conspired, sought foreign interference in the 2016 election. Robert Mueller found no evidence, none, of foreign interference in 2016. Have you apologized to President Trump? Have you apologized to President Trump, all of you who participated in those impeachment hearings against Donald Trump? You all should be apologizing. You sit here and
What? Oh, Pam. Oh, Pam. She sounds like a distraught wife whose husband got drunk and ran into the liquor store. And now, the next morning, she has to defend him. But why? Why? Well, look at that beautiful, youthful face. Look at that. How do you get that? How do you get that youthful look, Pam?
and you attack the president, and I am not going to have it. I'm not going to put up with it. You know, all they want to do, all the American people need to know this. They are talking about Epstein today. This has been around since the Obama administration. This administration released over 3 million pages of documents, over 3 million. And Donald Trump signed that law to release all of those documents. He is the most transparent president in the nation's history. And none of them ask Merrick Garland over the last 4 years one word about Jeffrey Epstein. How ironic is that? You know why? Because Donald Trump, the Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing.
$50,000 is what she almost said. She doesn't know anything about the Dow.
You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about.
No, Pam. No, Pam. That is not what we should be talking about. We should be talking about the children that are getting kidnapped and murdered by politicians you hang out with. Pam, sweet Pam, sweet, annoying, self-righteous Pam. I mean, it just absolutely blows my mind. What is the Dow? You're talking about kids getting trafficked to an island. And you're going to tell me, I mean, and it wasn't even, I mean, look at this transition.
And the NASDAQ, the last 4 years, one word about Jeffrey Epstein. How ironic is that? You know why? Because Donald Trump, the Dow.
What transition is that? Now, what? The Dow is at $50,000. I mean, points. I mean points. Oh, dear God.
The Dow right now.
Look at her read. You see her like, what is the Dow at? God damn it. I wrote it down here somewhere.
One word about Jeffrey Epstein. How ironic is that? You know why? Because Donald Trump, the Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing.
We're laughing because this has nothing to do with the Dow, sweetie. We're talking about kids getting groped. All right? Kids getting groped. You have kids, Pam. I think she does. But no. The Dow. Donald Trump. I'm praying for it. The Dow.
And I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P.
The best part of that is she thought she was being funny too. Like she heard the laughs, which are laughs of disgust, right? No one's laughing because the Dow's at 50,000. They're laughing because they cannot believe in a Jeffrey Epstein hearing we're talking about the Dow.
The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50.
See, look at her. She giggles. She got a little smile. She's like, I nailed that. I nailed it. I nailed it.
50,000
Papa Trump, did I nail it?
right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about.
Once again, Pam, we can talk about it, just not at a hearing where thousands of kids were trafficked by people too important to arrest.